In today's video, we're going to be installing a Tacomabeast tent onto my Tacoma. We're also going to be showing you guys just exactly how to set it up, how to install it, and then of course how it looks at the end. So make sure to stay tuned if you guys are interested. To set this up, it's actually really easy. The only thing, it does take some time, so set apart some time for it, of course. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be kind of opening it up, and on the top and the bottom layer of this platform, there is going to be some plastic that you need to remove as well, which I'll show you guys. So like I said, first thing, we need to go ahead and kind of get it open. So what you're going to do is you're going to notice there's going to be these straps on the end. You're going to unclip them and just bring them out. So that's going to kind of open up, let you open it up, and then off to the side, which we'll show you guys as well, there's also another clip. So just like that, and then if you come right over here, it's going to be kind of like a seatbelt buckle or just a buckle. You're going to see it. It's going to be right here. So all you do is get your fingers, unclip, and then if we go to the other side, it's going to be a similar process. So coming right over here, it's going to be the same exact thing. So right about here, you clip, and it unclips. So we're going to look at the platform now, and you're going to notice there is some plastic here. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and grab one of the corners and just go ahead and pull it right up. If you kind of notice it getting messed up like that, one tip that you could do is just get a really sharp razor blade and just kind of go around the edges slightly. Do not dig in, just give it a quick slice, just to kind of help the plastic rip off a lot easier. But of course, you don't want to cut into the platform. And once you do one side, you want to go ahead and maybe get a buddy or someone to help you out. You're going to need to flip it over on its back side. And on the other platform, there's also the same plastic stuff that you need to remove. All right, and now that you finished up those process, all you have to do is open it up. So go ahead and find the opening side and literally pull it right over on its backside. And stuff is gonna fall out, so just kind of being mindful of that. Maybe grab it while you're opening this thing up. Inside, it's gonna come, of course, with the stakes. It's going to come with some crossbars that you're going to need to install, and then it's also going to come with, I believe, a tool bag. So what you see here is going to be, of course, the hardware to actually install it, and then this here should be the ladder brackets, and it comes with the wrench that's needed to install this. As far as for this is going to be the in channels that go into the crossbar, and then these brackets actually attach to your existing roof rack or bed rack that you may have. Comes with the tools, and then of course it's going to come with the stake downs for some windy nights. Here you're going to have this is going to be basically for your windows and your doors. So as you can tell, there they are. This is a Tacomabeast CVT Collab. This is going to be a limited edition drop, so if you guys do want to get yours, make sure to check out the description box below. I also have a discount code for you guys, so if you use it, it's a good deal, trust me. So if you want to get yours. And the cool thing about this one that I specifically got, I got it with the extended fly, which you guys will see when we install it on the truck. But it's with the extended fly, so you have like a whole annex room down here. You can go ahead and put maybe your kids down there, or your pets, or just a changing room, or even a dinner room. You guys will see. All right, you guys, so once you're done kind of opening it up, you want to go ahead and open up the actual door, climb inside. There's also going to be some plastic in that platform down there under the bed. You can go ahead and remove it if you want to, and then from there you're also going to notice when you climb inside there's going to be more things in there. So inside of the actual tent, what you're going to have is you're going to have these protectors. That's basically going to be what's covering the whole tent when it's on your Tacoma. As you guys probably have seen, there's like a black, you know, kind of tarp that covers tents. So that's what this is going to be. You're also going to get your ladder inside, which is there. And then looking right here, like I said, I do have the extended fly, which means I do get the annex room. So the annex room is going to be right here. This thing is freaking awesome. You guys will see at the end of the video. You're also going to get this green bag. So for this green bag is kind of where you're going to be putting your annex when you want to put it away. You just stuff it in here, make it nice and clean. And then also inside you're going to get another little baggie. This is going to be to kind of stake down the annex as well. You guys will see. And then you're also going to get this, We're not sure what this is yet, but we'll find out. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do here is go ahead and grab your 2 rails that come provided, and then the next thing you wanna go ahead and grab the little baggie that comes with this type of hardware. So it's gonna come with some end caps like this, some plastic end caps. It's gonna come with little washers like that. It's going to come with some self-tapping screws, 4 of them, and then it's going to come with 4 of these bolts, washers, and nuts. You're also going to want to go ahead and grab the wrench that says size 10, but I went ahead and grabbed my own 10 as well, so we got 2 of them. So what you're going to want to go ahead and start with is grabbing these ones. So I'm going to go ahead and take the nut off for now. I'm going to take that off, and noticing I'm leaving the washers in. That, and that. So what you're going to want to do with these, with the washers installed like that, in this step here, once you grabbed your, of course, bolts and your washers that I showed you guys, you're going to want to go ahead and kind of just flip up the tent. So when you flip it up on one of the sides, you're going to notice there's going to be 4 holes at the bottom. So there's one here, one there, and one there. So once you've located those 4 holes on the base of the tent, that's kind of the direction you're going to want to take it. So then from there, you want to go ahead and kind of pull down your tent a little bit, and we're going to focus on the opposite side to show you guys. So once you've located those holes, we're going to be on the same side. So the holes are, of course, on this side on the bottom. So now you want to go ahead and open up that side. So as you can tell, I've opened up the mesh, and it's going to expose the mattress. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and pull down the mattress all the way down so you have a clean working space. And then noticing here on the inside, you're also going to see those same holes. So those are the ones that we showed you guys on the opposite side, which are there, and there's 2 on the bottom. So what you want to do there is you want to go ahead and now start putting these through. So you're going to have the washer, of course, and the bolt. So let's go ahead and put them through the bottom of the inside of the tent, all right? And we'll do the same thing to all 4 holes. Okay, so of course, now that we have those bolts right through, up next, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is grab your rails. So we're going to be installing the railing system onto the tent now. And what you're going to also want to do is, if you remember, we took off the little nylon locking nuts from these bolts. So now you want to go ahead and grab that. One little tip we could give you guys, if you guys do have a pick just like this, it's going to help you. So I'd grab that right now. So there's going to be 2 ways of putting this. So you can either put it in this direction here, like this, but you are going to notice it's slightly outwards like that. So then you're going to have to cut it. But if you do mount it this way, your tent can open backwards, meaning it could open towards your tailgate, like for me that I'm installing it on a Tacoma. I'm not going to be doing that because I don't want to cut these rails. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing it this way. So what you want to do is at the bottom of each rail, you're going to notice there's like a little in channel. So that's where you're going to want to feed that nut. Super easy, nothing hard about it. So check it out. So you're going to see there's some nylon up there, which are the nylon locking nuts. You're going to feed it right through, and that's where the pick is going to come in hand. So you want to go ahead and kind of grab it with that, just so it doesn't slide down all the way on you. There is going to be holes, one there and one towards the bottom. That's kind of where you're going to want to have that nut, right about there. And reason why is because those holes are actually going to match up with the bolts that we put through previously. So let's show you guys. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of mount it, not properly, but just so it doesn't fall. And then we're going to line it up here with the nut using our pick tool. So like I said, we're not going to install it 100% yet. We're just going to kind of try to get it snug so the railing system does not fall. So with my hand, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten it for right now. There it is. So now it shouldn't fall on either end. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the opposite side. I'm going to go ahead and feed the nut right through the channel. I pick to go ahead and feed it through. And I'm going to lift it just a little. Slide it right over that bolt, right about there. Give it a little firm pressure. Stick my hand in through the back side, and I'm just going to tighten it by hand for right now. You want to go ahead and get your provided 10mm wrench, or for example, like I have my own. I like these because it's a ratcheting wrench. It's a little easier. So let's go ahead and grab this, go through the bottom, and we're going to tighten this down. You want to make sure this part is nice and snug. This is your railing system that's going to be installed onto your bed rack, so you do not want this loose and it falling off and then your tent goes flying, and it's a lot of money, for it to go flying. Now that you finished up with the top railing system, now you want to go ahead and of course move on to the bottom one. It's going to be the same exact process. Go ahead and use your pick, you know, to kind of help out guide it. So now right here, you're going to kind of trip out. Wait, how do I tighten this? Do I need to put someone inside to kind of tighten it down for me? You don't. Cool thing about this, when it's on its side like this, you can go ahead and get your wrench, stick your hand in here and go ahead and tighten down the bolts right there. And of course the one back here. Super simple, nothing too hard. Once you're done installing the railing system, which I am, it's nice and tight. Up next, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is you're going to notice it's going to come inside that same baggie where the hardware was with those bolts, the self-tapping screws. So you want to go ahead and grab that, and then a washer. So you want to go ahead and put the washer right in there. So basically what these are, they're going to be kind of like locking rail. It's going to help lock the rail in place. So you grab it on each end, you're going to have to self-tap that screw right there. So one will go here, and then looking on this side, one will go on this end, and then of course two more up top on each end. That's just going to kind of help secure this rail so that way it never moves. So that's what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that as far as for me, but I'll do that at a later time. So just so you guys know what to do with those. All right, you guys, so now that you finished up the railing system, we're going to go ahead and put it on its bottom side. And then now we're going to lift this side up. So we're going to kind of be doing the same process, but this time we're going to be installing the system for the ladder. So you guys will see what I mean. So let's do that. There's going to be some holes right here on the edge. So 2 there and 2 there. So in this step here, we're going to now start working on the process of installing the ladder. So to do so, you want to go ahead and grab the baggie that comes with these brackets and bolts. So we'll go ahead and start off with one. Inside, there's also going to be a little tool that comes provided. So that's going to be what secures this. So you're going to notice on this side, there's like a rubber and just 1 bolt going through. On the back side of these bad boys, there's going to be 2 bolts, washers, and a nut. So what you're going to want to do in this process here is, let's go ahead and start off by removing the nut and the washer. So just like that. Same thing. Just like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to notice on those holes that I pointed out, you want to go ahead and feed those bolts right through. Just like that. And then on the opposite side, what you're going to be doing is have it open and you want to pull the mattress back. And the bolts should be feeding right through here somewhere in this direction. If there's tape on it, just like that, you can remove it. Not a big deal. They're just covers. And what you do there is you grab one of your washers. You feed the washer through. And then you feed one of the nylon nut locking nuts right through that. And just hand tight for right now, and we'll do the opposite side, same thing. And once you have it in its position, everything's kind of locked in place. Now you can go ahead and get your tool and tighten this thing down nice and snug. And then after you finish one side, then you'll do the same thing to the opposite side where there's also a couple more holes there. So now that we installed these brackets, up next we're going to now be installing the actual ladder onto this. So you're going to notice there's already pre-installed bolts. You want to make sure you do not mess up the orientation of it. So how you have them installed right now, you want to leave it in its place. So we're going to go ahead and remove the nylon locking nut that's there, the washer. So now that I have it apart like this, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the rubber washer here, and we're going to put the bolt right through, rubber washer. We'll grab our ladder, slide it right through, and then we will put our metal washer on this side, and then we will put our nut. I'm just going to go ahead and hand tighten for right now so I can do the same thing to the opposite side. So let's go ahead and move on over here. We're going to remove it. Careful that you don't lose the little metal washer. Take off the bolt, put the rubber right through it, slide it in, metal washer on this side, and then the nut. You see a close-up here, just so you guys see the orientation. It's bolt, rubber, metal washer, and nut. So once you got this process down, now you can go ahead and tighten these bad boys. And once you do that, you're kind of in the process of getting ready to install onto the truck. We just have one step left, which is really easy. All right, you guys, so up next, what you're gonna wanna go ahead and do is you're gonna wanna go ahead and grab the hardware baggie that comes with all these right here. It comes with like some plates and some bolts and some more plates. So what these bad boys are gonna go into this railing system, which is gonna attach to your actual bed rack. So let me show you guys how to do it. So this is gonna go on the bottom of your actual bed rack, which you guys will see in a minute. But what you wanna be grabbing is the ones that look like this for right now. As far as the plate, you want to go ahead and make sure the bolt is slid out just like that, so you can tell it's nice and flush. So right over here, if you look on the side, right over here, you're going to notice there's like an in channel right here up top, and that is going to actually feed into it. So what you want to do is like that. So the cool thing about these is it makes it super secure because everything kind of fits in its place. It's not all wobbly or anything like that. So you're going to want to go ahead and put 4 on each side. So 1, 2. And you want to make sure that the bolt, the head of the bolt, is what's going into the base of the tent. All right, you guys, so in this step here, what you're gonna wanna go ahead and do is inside that same baggie where you just grabbed that hardware, there's gonna be 4 of these plastic kind of end tabs, and you're gonna wanna go ahead and bring them over. So on each side of the rails, these are gonna be basically end caps. So you just, there's only one way to put them in. So you'll notice it, of course, in person, but there's only one way. So you just kind of look at it, and then it'll slide in, and just kind of pop it in with some firm pressure. On down, next one here, and you just saw Alex finishing up the other side. So they are pretty tight, I'm not gonna lie. If you have maybe a mallet, you can use that. Now that you've done that, what you wanna do with these bolts that you had slid in, you kind of wanna, depending on the rack that you have, you wanna put them kind of in its place as to where you're gonna be mounting it onto. Just that way when you put it over, it'll be a lot easier to maneuver these around. So in this step is where you want to go ahead and get your buddy. So you can go ahead and get some help to put this right over the rack. So that's what we're going to do now. Oh man. All right, you guys, so as you saw, it does help out having someone else to do this. Up next, what we're going to be working on now is trying to align the bolts that we put into the actual holes of the rack. Now for the mounting part, this is going to depend on what bed rack you have. If you guys can use these plates, that'd probably be the best way, the easiest way as well. Basically what these would do is you'd put them kind of like in this position here, and then the bolt would go through. The bolt would go through the other side, and then you'd put the nuts that came provided, and that secures it. All right, you guys, so just to show you how I attached the tent to the actual rack, like I was telling you guys, it will vary on what rack you have, but as far as for me, you're gonna see, so here's the plates that were provided. I then put the nuts right here that were also provided that we had taken off. What I'm gonna be doing down the road though is I'm actually gonna get longer bolts, because as you can tell, it's barely grabbing on right here. I don't like how that looks, that's kind of unsafe, so I'm going to be switching those out here pretty soon. But for the video, just to show you guys, there it is, and then it's going to be the same thing for all the other sides, as you guys can tell. There is different ways of attaching it onto your rack, but that's just how it's gonna, that's kind of like the base way to do it. All right, so now that I showed you guys, up next, we still have, I believe, 1 step to go, and then we can finally open it up. Up next, what we're gonna be doing, if you can see this right here, we're gonna be grabbing the cover. So the way you know which one's gonna be for the top of the tent is the one that says Tacomabeast on the side, as you guys can tell. So on one of the sides of the actual cover, there's gonna be like this hard plastic tubing in there, so all the way through, as you guys can tell, and it's only going to be on one side because the rest of it's going to have kind of like a zipper mechanism. So what you're going to want to do is you want to go ahead and start off on one side, and what we're going to be doing is you want to start on the edging. We're going to be feeding it into this in channel right here. So if you can see that there, that's where we're going to feed that through. So it's not hard, but it does take some time sometimes. So just take your time with it. You don't want to rip anything, and just slide it on through. Okay, so it's at this time where you guys can go ahead and enjoy it. It's basically installed, it's done, ready to go for you. Before we put this away though, because technically this cover that we just installed goes right over the tent, kind of zips up, and you know, you're set. It's all set up. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and open it up. So let's pull out the ladder, bring it on down. Right now we are at an angle, so it's not gonna be properly as to how the ladder should sit and how the tent should sit, but I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to open it up. And then I'm going to show you something cool about this specific one. So you're going to notice there is a rail that goes here, which I'll put it on so I can show you guys. So what I'm doing is actually feeding this into these little channels here, as you guys can tell. So it feeds right in it, just like that. And this is kind of what opens up the extended fly. And of course, here's your door. So with having the extended fly version, you actually get a full-on room downstairs here. Alright guys, so we're basically done with the whole setup on how to install a rooftop tent onto your Tacoma. So on an upcoming video, what we're going to be doing for you guys is we're going to be showing you guys exactly the whole kind of walk around of this specific tent. And cool thing about this one that I did get, which like I had said, it's the extended fly, the Shasta version. With this one, you can actually add another annex room here, which comes with it if you get the extended fly. So you guys will see that in an upcoming video. I'll set it up for you guys, and you guys are going to see how big it is. Because the cool thing about this, you can add 1 or 2 more people down here to go ahead and sleep, or you can use it as a changing room, you can use it as a dinner room, anything like that. So like I said, stay tuned for that video so I can show you how this room gets enclosed and how it works and stuff like that. So if you guys did like today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Super simple, please feel free to subscribe.